I'm making this video for two reasons. My primary one is to stand up for one of my former students, and so I can only pray that I can be a voice for her today. The second is to bring awareness to a lot of really innocent people who keep getting manipulated by the efforts of some of the people who run some of the coding forums out there. Forum owners have multiple purposes. Sure, one of those purposes is to provide a venue for ongoing learning, to allow for brainstorming, a place where coders can network and discuss coding scenarios. But what you all need to know is that the main purpose for coding forums is for schools to promote their businesses. And that's okay to some extent. But the problem I'm having is that we are seeing more and more people who are creating fake accounts in order to deceive people into thinking that ABC school is the very best. The reason people are creating fake accounts is because they are either promoting the schools that they own or they are promoting the organizations they are affiliated with. What I want to open your eyes to is this. Please be extremely careful when seeing comments by people who are swearing by this or that medical coding program. In just a little bit, I'm going to teach you all how you can be careful. But before I get to that, the reason I'm telling you to be extremely careful is because those comments aren't always coming from real people. You might say, how do you know for sure that some people are deceptively doing this? You're right. Without proof, I can't say that for sure. But what I can vouch for is what a former graduate of our school recently experienced. We have proof for these experiences because my student actually took a few screenshots of some of her messages that she was posting on a couple of coding forums. I want to share with you two very shocking occurrences that my student experienced that took place with two different coding forums. The first thing I said was, "Why didn't you post your question on our forum?" She was like, "Oh, Mr. Ortega, I didn't know you had one." And that makes sense because we only literally just created our own GoToCoders forum a couple of weeks ago. Apparently, my student was part of some medical billing and coding forum. Apparently, the people who administer this forum posted an advertisement that placed, I guess, a lot of major emphasis on their internship. And immediately my student, thought, why does an internship, why do an internship when I know that after completing your coding program, and getting certified, you just go to work, So here, let me go ahead and show you all the screenshot she sent me of the exact comment that she had left on their advertisement. My two sisters and I went to Medical Coding Academy. We never did an internship. We just immediately went straight to work after passing our exams. I work in urgent care and my two sisters work at physicians' offices. We were told there was no need to do internships because the program already prepared us to go straight to work. Just wondering why some schools are even making these internships a thing. Am I missing something? Did you guys have to do internships? ? That was her post. After about 5 minutes of posting her comment, she went to see if anyone had shed some light. But the strangest thing, she found that her entire comment was deleted. She thought, wait, I don't want to jump to conclusions and accuse people. With what cause would they delete my comment? So it didn't make sense. So she gave them the benefit of the doubt, and I guess she reposted it again. And she went on there a second time and left the same comment, give or take. This time she took a screenshot because she wasn't about to, keep going through this over and over. After waiting a few minutes on her second time, she went to check it again. And you guess it, the administrators of that forum had deleted her comment yet again. Okay, let's think about this. Let's think this through. Why on earth would the forum, or I guess whichever school runs that forum, why weren't they able to explain, why they thought an internship was valuable? If promoting their internship was their biggest selling point, why didn't they just jump? Seriously, jump at the chance to address her question. Just start listing benefits, and if that's what you really believe, if you're just sold out and convicted that an internship is so key, then why delete her comment? They wouldn't even allow the question, not once, but twice. I'm serious. I put myself in the owner's shoes of the forum. Whenever someone posts a question on my page, I fall all over myself, beyond thrilled. Can't wait to explain, why this or why that. Are you kidding me? Those are opportunities to, for the school owners to educate people on the benefits of their schools. I'm going to be all over it. But listen, as if deleting her comment wasn't completely unwarranted already, she later found out that this school had removed her access to the forum entirely. She got thrown out. Like, who does that? On what grounds? I'll tell you, my student got so upset about it. She said she went over to another forum, one that she said she had, a lot of faith that, these people aren't going to delete, my question. So she went over to the forum. To her amazement, people began immediately, she said, pouring in with comments that were really supporting her. She said when she last checked her question, I think there had been about 80 inspired commentators who chimed in, with the majority of them justifying the conclusion she had, which, internship wasn't necessary. Some people said that they had an internship that they had gone through because it was wrapped up in their program, but way more people were saying, no way, don't waste your time like that. I don't get it. We never went to, and that kind of thing. For her, I guess, if you will, because before the day could end, she had her heart shattered by them the moment that she learned that the had also deleted her post. I want everyone to understand that if my student had told me just about the one experience with that first forum, that first school, I would have just seen it for what it was, shady, and then just let it go. But what happened was it didn't end there. Actually allowed quite a bit more dialect from people, but it seems to me that as soon as they realized another school was being, what I guess, strongly promoted, boom, it was deleted. We believe that the reason two different entities deleted her post was because she unintentionally pointed to another school. It's always baffled me why, when MCA, Medical Coding Academy, has the most outstanding reviews in the industry, why does our school's name rarely pop up on these coding forums? I always just thought our students, they're not up on forums, they just got their credentials, they're super busy in their brand new jobs. But because of these recent events, we now have new suspicions. That's why I'm on here right now, to bring awareness of the extent that some schools will go to make something appear as something it isn't. I can only imagine how many students have had their post removed just because they're proud of their school and want others to have the same positive experiences that they had. This video would have never been formulated had I never known this action was also taken by the. After many people were seeing that internships weren't necessary, they began to ask my student how she got her employer to bring her in for the interview without experience. She told them it was because of all the personal interview techniques that we had provided her. And on that note, please, if you're a certified coder with experience or without, and you're struggling to get a job, please watch my video called Getting the Job. You won't care one bit about your lack of experience after watching that video. She told a bunch of the commentators that she was going to ask me if it would be okay that she shared my techniques with them. I told her to tell them that I'll give them something better than that. I'll actually record my techniques. I wanted to do it ASAP so that everyone, regardless what school they had gone to, could benefit from them. But before my student could go back to the forum and tell the students about the video that I had promised, the deleted the entire thread. I mean, at least the first school had a reason for fear of getting overlooked, but had no reason to delete her post. Where is the allowance, for discussion and sharing of real-world positive experiences? Why is this being forbidden? And by the way, I remember hearing through the years, I've been hearing a lot of feedback that people get upset because their comments are deleted, and that they're removed sometimes of access entirely. But I never knew it was for reasons like this. Like, something tells me I'm not just vindicating my student today by making this video right now, but I feel like lots of people are being vindicated right now. I say that because nothing about her post was out of line. It only stands to reason that the reason it was deleted was because of where her question took the thread. So some of those comments that were pouring in were made by former MCA graduates, just so you all know. They only chimed in to say how great MCA was. Other people expressed how they never completed any internships. They just got their certifications and joined the industry. Some of the commentators were very passionately telling people not to be sucked into internships because they were sales gimmicks used by certain schools, to make people think that they're never going to get a job, without an internship. And yet others were stating that real world coding experience could be gained only in the real world, which is true, by the way. In other words, there were too many comments being made that were promoting knowledge from another school, and there were too many comments being made that were exposing at the same time the flaws with the logic that an internship or even practicode equals real world experience. Nothing is real world experience except the real world. Please watch my video on practicode apprenticeships, internships. You do not want to miss this insanely eye-opening video. There's something I actually forgot to mention in that video that I'll go ahead and mention here. On one of her posts, my student stated that her school had not only prepped her for the exam, but actually taught her how to abstract words in which to code from the medical reports. She told them her school taught her how to find all the diagnosis and procedures that she had just abstracted from all the medical reports by using the alphabetical indexes of her code books. In other words, she made it abundantly clear that she didn't have to do an internship or practicode because her school provided her the skills that she needed to step into the world and start contributing. The thing is, some posts come from fake accounts, but some posts are also coming from people who are affiliated with or have a business partnership with. Some of these people literally troll around all these coding forums looking for who they can devour. I'm serious. I remember when I was once visiting a random coding forum, no idea which one it was. All of a sudden, a young lady was asking for help on tabbing her books. I remember how excited I got because I had launched my patented tabbing system, not too long ago. I made a comment about my tabbing system and feeling all proud, feeling like a hero, when all of a sudden one of the frequent flyers from the forum started to bash me. I mean, he did everything he could to degrade my tabbing system and humiliate me. I'd never known someone, especially a man, could be so brutal to a young lady who, with all my heart, was dying to share one of my most treasured secrets with the industry, which, by the way, people fall head over heels over my tabbing system. But anyway, but even more terrifying than publicly shaming me was the moment I realized his role on the forum. And I'll just leave that right there. But all this to say, as one of the administrators of my own medical coding forum, we commit to shine the same light on our forum that we shine on other coding forums. I thought about this. How far will I be willing to let conversations continue that elevate other schools on my own forum? In other words, at what point would I do these other forums and the way they did and just shut down a student? Where are we, Medical Coding Academy Go-To Coders Forum, where are we going to draw the line? I guess, how will we know if a person is a true former graduate of ABC school that they're advocating for, or if indeed we're dealing with a paid employee from one of those schools on our forum to market their services? What I want you all to know is that we are going to be a whole lot more balanced about things. If at some point we have a suspicion, we're going to ask that individual to provide us their full name and maybe even their AAPC ID number, and so that we can validate their authenticity. If they can provide the proof, no problem. But if they don't, we will remove their access, and we will tell everyone in the group forum that due to their inability to authenticate themselves, we had to cut ties. Because yes, then and only then will they lose access due to suspected ill intent. But let me go ahead and state it boldly right now that I have a deep-rooted conviction that I will have absolutely failed you if I see you going in the direction of a school who we are constantly getting their students from. How am I going to just sit there and say, well, let them just go learn the hard way that that's not a good school? I mean, would a mother do that to her own child? No. She'd do anything and everything she could to protect them and steer them in the right direction. Believe it or not, there are some schools out there that we never get students from. And you know what that tells me? They must be doing a good job. We know which schools we constantly get students from, and it's these schools, those schools, that we will always, do our very best to protect you all from. What we will not do is run away from answering people's honest and earnest questions. What we will not do is make assumptions. These are the standards that we're going to hold ourselves accountable to. This forum will be in my name, and what people need to understand is that this woman right here, I fear the Lord. I have a reverence for the Lord. I answer to a higher authority in heaven. I'll shut down the entire forum before I ever allow scammy and trifling actions by anyone administering my forum. So mark my words right there. If you all ever see Medical Coding Academy's Go-To Coders Forum vanish into thin air, you can rest assured it was only ever removed because we would rather lose our members than to dishonor God. I know you're now nervous about what and what not to believe when you're visiting medical coding forums, but one thing I can reassure you all of is that Medical Coding Academy does not utilize fake reviews of any sort on any platforms, because remember, I won't risk dishonoring the Lord. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is more important to me than my stance with the Lord, how He views me. That stated, if you're confused about what school to trust, don't get your advice from coding forums. Earlier, I told you all I would teach you all how to be careful. Here's exactly how to be careful. Do not trust medical coding forums to guide you to the best schools. The forums are owned by schools who will apparently do just about anything, including things like creating fake accounts or promoting organizations that they work for and or are affiliated with. But the worst thing is that they will absolutely delete posts that strongly promote schools that aren't them. Instead of going to the forums for schools for school recommendations, go to the bbb.org. Compare the verified reviews from each school you have in mind. I just hope you all can really see my transparency here, because it takes a lot of courage to make a video like this. I mean, look around. Who's ever made a video like this? I have never been one to self-preserve. Looking out for the best interest of my students has always come first. Check out my video on the ugly truth about the vocational college. So sorry to interrupt like this. Please know this video was recorded over a week ago, but I'm interrupting because I was just informed of yet another disgraceful act. Before going to bed last night, apparently our student posted my How to Get the Job Without Experience video on this same coding forum. Because this time she no longer trusts them, she took a screenshot of it. And wouldn't you know it, she woke up this morning and found it had been deleted. Man, I was just glad, we hadn't posted this video yet so that we could squeeze this vital information in. But they did it again. They removed her post. I'm actually surprised they haven't removed her access from the forum altogether, because remember, the first forum removed her access almost immediately. She said, she could care less now, about medical coding forums. And I just have to say, talk about a maturity level that really sets the example. I especially say that because, would you believe it that between the fiasco from last week and the one from last night, would you believe she told us that yet a third medical coding forum also removed her access? All because she answered someone who had a question for a good coding school to go to, and she recommended the academy, of course. Next thing you know, her access was removed by yet a third coding forum. But my goodness, why on earth would a video that helps people get coding jobs without experience be removed? I mean, don't they care about people's livelihoods? Was it removed because they truly don't care about people? Or was it removed because it pointed to another school? Or was it removed because it pointed back to this school? I don't know, and I don't even want to know. But one thing is for sure, this is just another deceitful act that further confirms just how controlled these medical coding forums are. Because when you remove posts, comments, and recommendations, you're left with a forum that is highly staged. Don't trust medical coding forums for direction of any sort. So now that I'm finally paying attention to these forums, I literally just found one where just a few days ago, the administrator of it actually banished one of their members in a really public and cruel way. Apparently, that member expressed he didn't appreciate all the spamming that he was being slammed with while he was on the forum. Well, don't you know the administrator blocked his access, then turned around and publicly shamed him by telling all the other members, "Look, John Doe," and by the way, she actually named him by real name, by his first name and real last name. She posted, "Hey everybody, guess who just got blocked? LOL." Once again, what did he do to deserve that? This is a young man who is a human being with a heart and feelings. My gosh, That is no way to treat a medical coding student. It's just awful. Well, it turns out this particular forum doesn't even try to hide the fact that they will banish you. Basically, on the front of their forum page, it says if you point to another school, they actually threaten that you will be removed. They warn people that if they link or recommend any schools, or if they link any YouTube videos from other schools, or if they even post any jobs, that any and all offenders would be blocked. This post was made on February the 16th. So please, if you see this post on a forum that you belong to, please do the right thing and ditch it. I'm serious. What kind of people are we if we support a forum that is this ruthless to people? The truth is, too many of us, including myself, because up until now, I had been completely oblivious to the disgracefulness of the behavior of these forum administrators. But yes, way too many people are not connecting the dots. Clearly, these forums are being highly censored, so please just don't trust these coding forums for direction of any sort. Instead, investigate the official reviews that are attached to the schools by actual student testimonies. Or better yet, I know that our reviews are legitimate, and that's before the Lord. But if you feel leery or weary, go compare the reviews from all the schools you have in mind on bbb.org. Anyway, I'm now fully drained. This was just a little too much drama, but I had to speak the truth. Thank you all for tuning in, and God bless you all.